Hello and welcome everyone to episode 8 of the Into the Paranormal podcast. My name is Corey Beam. Over there is my cohort in everything paranormal, Kevin Leonard. And here we get a little spooky, we get a little unexplainy, and we go and we look into some strange stuff. Thank you. Thank you for joining us, guys. This is the Into the Paranormal podcast. And as always, we are brought to you by the one and only Coastal Atlantic Paranormal Association. Kevin, why don't you tell us what we need to know about Kappa?
Sure. What is CAPA? What is the Coastal Atlantic Paranormal Association? You may ask. Well, the Coastal Atlantic Paranormal Association is a paranormal research team, and we get calls to investigate or help explain things that our clients may not understand. You may feel that your home or business is haunted. You'll reach out to us and we will either explain to you over the phone what you may or may not be hearing or experiencing, or we may schedule an investigation and set up our audio and video devices and a various other equipment that we use. And we will get to the bottom of anything that you are experiencing or feel like you are experiencing in your location. And as always, Kappa does not charge a fee for any of its services, none of the research, none of the investigation. Everything that we do on our end is 100% free of charge to our clients. That is Kappa.
Wonderful. There we go.
And you can visit kappaparanormal.com to get all of your information that I just said and tons and tons and tons more on our website.
Awesome. And we do want to put out there, if you happen to be in the Florida area, maybe in the
Yes.
Volusia County area, we are actually doing something October 7th at the Deltona Regional Library. We're giving an hour-long presentation at 11 a.m. on the 7th of October. So if you're in the area, you want to come meet us, listen to us talk paranormal, we would love to have you. It'd be really cool for anyone to stop by. And we may have something in Southern Georgia as well coming up as well.
Yes. So stay on the socials, facebook.com/Kappa Paranormal, CAPA Paranormal, and just be on the lookout for anything that we may post with events or anything that we have going on. There's a tons of stuff on there as well that you can get into. And I should have mentioned in the description of Kappa as well that we do service the entire East Coast, but we are based in Central Florida and Southeastern Georgia, but we are always one click away.
Always.
So, with that being said, good Saturday morning, everyone. Good Saturday morning, Corey. How be you, my good sir?
Oh, it's wonderful. Another work week in the books, on vacation now. So that's exciting.
Me too. Me too. Getting ready to pack up the truck and head to North Carolina to investigate the old jailer's house in Edenton, North Carolina. Always a good time to be in Edenton.
Absolutely.
Can't wait. And plus, like we said, I don't remember what episode it was. We were talking about car rides. Getting there is half the fun for me too, because I get to listen to podcasts and all that fun stuff, music, and I get to just see things, go places.
I'll be
Don't
going
like spending money on gas.
Oh, listen.
That's all.
Listen, I'll be going through a few states I've never been in on the
That's
trip I'm
always
taking.
exciting.
So, going out to Louisiana. So I've never been to Mississippi, Alabama, or Louisiana. So those will, little check marks off the list there. But definitely exciting.
And you got to stop in New Orleans, dude.
Oh, I will. I'm gonna get
You got to get a beignet.
I'm getting a beignet.
You got to.
You better believe it.
You got to get a shirt or a hat that says New Orleans too.
Is that?
I got one in the truck.
I may have to. I mean, I'm definitely looking forward to it. It'll be a lot of fun.
Even you're not really a hat wearer, but
I'm not.
I mean,
when you have this cool little swoop, wrong side. I'm looking at the video. I mean, it's opposite, But when you have that cool little hair swoop going on, you just
You would
can't.
hate to hide that.
Exactly, I can't hide that.
Yeah.
It's the
Yeah.
sex appeal of Into the Paranormal. I
Yeah.
kind of
Well, I
gotta
mean, you
bring
can't deny that. You can't deny that.
it.
That's why I keep this going because I can't, I don't want to take away from that over there.
Right,
It's what gets the views, really.
right. It's people are watching us for
Yeah.
obviously, we don't even have to say it. But
Yeah. And they're like, what are they talking about? They're fun to look at.
exactly. Ghosts? What? I just want the
Yeah.
hot bods. No. No, we're
Yeah.
we're excited about this episode. I hope you guys will stick around till the end because we have our first, and I'm so excited to read it, our first viewer submitted story. Um,
Yes. I'm
which will be
excited to
very,
hear.
very exciting. I've read it. It's
Yeah. Not
very
to me.
good.
I haven't heard it. So
Kevin, you're gonna
as
get
you
yep.
guys as you guys hear it for the first time, so will I. So I'm excited for that.
It's
And
a
we've
it's a
been
good
getting a
one.
lot of we've been getting a lot of feedback as well.
We
And
have.
so that's good. I saw someone actually in person stop me and said, "Hey, I'm catching up on your podcast, and I love it so far." So we're doing something right.
Something. And
Yeah.
last week, of course, we had Rob Demers, and that was a lot of fun. We hope to have him back on the pod at some point in the future as well. Um, awesome conversation. If you haven't had a chance, it is a long one. We know. We apologize, but we couldn't cut
That's the
things out.
beauty of YouTube and literally pretty much anywhere you listen to podcasts, there's a pause button and you
Right.
can go back and pick up right where you left off. So we're
Exactly.
always there.
Always.
We're see, not only is the sex appeal there, we're comforting. We're always there for you. Whenever
Always
you want
there.
to get into the paranormal.
Oh gosh. I was that was cheesy. Well, today we're talking about one of my favorite subjects, big feet. And when we get into this subject, we're going to let you know where you can go to sell those pics to get the best bang for your buck.
Is it Foot Locker?
No, it's bigfeet.pic.com. No, I'm kidding. This is not a show about foot fetishes. This is a show about the one and the only Bigfoot. We talked a little bit about an encounter Lorraine Warren had with Bigfoot telepathically, which kind of got me
Who was that
thinking.
again?
Here we go again. If you guys noticed in the last episode, it stunned me that he said, "Who's that?" We've had many conversations in private about Lorraine Warren, but for some reason it stopped me for a second. But, but yeah, the one and only Bigfoot. Um, is he real? Is it a big fable? What is the science behind it? Could it exist? Uh, I know that I've never been squatching. Watching Finding Bigfoot makes me want to go out in the woods and do some howls, knock on some trees. But I'd love to hear, Kevin. We're just going to start right here. Do you think Bigfoot is real?
I think it's a possibility. So how vague is that?
Yeah, well, that's it.
I
Well,
think, yeah. So I personally, I think the possibility is there. I think that he very well could exist. I think that there is so many miles upon miles of not only America, but the world that we haven't charted, we haven't mapped, we have not stepped foot in. I mean, if you look at the Amazon or the Congo or the northwest part of the United States alone, it's vast wilderness. And if say there's a small number of Bigfoot, I mean, if there was as common as people where there's like billions upon billions running around, yes, we would see one, you know. Uh, but if there's a small number or small by large scale as well, we're talking there could be millions of Sasquatches in the forest and we still would never see them, because if they've been there this entire time, let's say they evolved right next to us, um, they could stay hidden for this length of time. They would see how we react. They would see what humans do and just make their own judgments to not be around them, you know. Uh, and people will commonly say, "Oh, but we haven't found a carcass." I mean, a deer or any animal could pass in the woods and you'll never see its carcass.
Yeah.
And there's scavengers that will pick it clean. Some they could bury, you never know. They could bury it with leaves or in the dirt. I mean, I'm not saying they're walking around with shovels, but there's plenty of reasons why we've never found a carcass, you
Right.
know? Um, and that's just it. Like there's reported sightings all around the world before recorded history, so to speak. There's cave drawings, if you want to call that recorded history,
I
of
would. I would.
yeah, yeah, of Bigfoot, so how did and they could be in different parts of the world with um civilizations that never met. So how would these civilizations be saying that they saw the same creatures? The same could be said for UFOs. There's cave drawings and hieroglyphs in Egypt that depict UFOs, and then there's cave drawings in uh, the United States from Native Americans that show UFOs. The drawings might look different, but you could tell what they are. That's a hard word for me to say, by the way. Hieroglyph.
Oh,
Um,
you got there though, and I'm
I
proud of
got
you
there.
for that.
Thank you. You know, uh, English is hard,
It
but
is.
no, like, how could these civilizations, like I said, have never crossed paths, be jotting down that they saw the same thing, just drawing pictures of the same creatures? Like I said, they look
Yeah.
different, but they're obviously the same thing.
Right.
Thousands of miles apart across the oceans, you
Yeah.
know?
I mean, if you look, you got Bigfoot, the Yeti. Um,
Sasquatch, skunk ape.
well, these are just America. I'm thinking about the
Right.
ones because Yowie, the Yowie. I think that's
hmm
Australia. You got
hmm The Yeti, I
yeah,
believe, is
the
by the
Yetis, the
Himalayas.
Himalayas. You got the Yeren in China,
hmm
the orang pendek in Indonesia. You got a lot of these cryptids that are seemingly based off the same basic, um, I
And that,
guess,
that brings
theory.
another point too, when you said like orangutans.
Yeah.
Orangutans for the longest time uh, were depicted as cryptids. They were not, no one believed that they existed. They were actually thought to be humans that were trying to get out of work and would go to the forest and basically act like monkeys.
Yeah.
And that's what people used to think that orangutans were. They actually called them red men of the forest. And over time, they were actually documented and scientifically proven to be orangutans, not humans. They were their own species.
It's crazy to think
Um,
about.
there, there's so
Yeah.
many cryptids. I mean, the list could go on that not even cryptids anymore. There's
Yeah.
so many lists.
I think
And
flying squirrels at one point were even a
yes,
mythical kind of thing. I mean, there's a lot of animals. Well, you can think about, I think
yeah.
another one that was mentioned, by the way, if you follow Kappa on Facebook, you will have seen this post. But it mentions the Kraken, the giant squid.
Yeah.
That's something that 300-400 years ago was just a myth, and we now know that these things exist. They're real. Um, and they can do what they did back in, maybe not quite to the extent, but
Right.
they
But their tentacles were long enough to
right.
reach, around ships, not to the
Yes,
degree that they were drawn,
right,
not taking
but
down masts of ships, but they were big enough to reach and
and,
probably,
and to people that didn't understand the ocean, I mean, we don't even understand the ocean that well now, but they really didn't at that in those days. I mean, this was a monster, and it really, I
yeah.
mean, you could call it a monster. If I see a 20-foot, that's terrifying. Um,
Listen, mermaids were actually proven to exist. You don't know about that one?
I'd I'd love for you to tell me a story here.
What do you think? What do you think mermaids are in real life? And I don't mean that one that was stitched with like a
No,
monkey body or
now are you talking
something.
about manatees?
Uh-uh.
No, because there was um forgot. There's a lot of stories of seeing mermaids that they were
They
manatee-like
were manatee.
creatures,
Yep.
but
Right. No,
no, I do not. Where are we going?
dolphins.
Okay,
Dolphins.
I mean that would make sense. A very intelligent creature.
Yep.
Um,
And that would guide ships to the shore.
right? Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
The
now I will.
platypus was a
Uh,
cryptid.
I mean, if you showed me a picture of that thing, I wouldn't thought it existed either.
Yeah.
To be
And it's got a
fair,
funny name. I like saying that word, platypus.
platypus. Hey, it sounds like it could be like an insult. Hey, you platypus.
Yeah.
But
Oh,
no, but
platypuses are cool.
yeah,
The platypi is cool.
platypi is platypus plural.
I don't know.
I'm gonna have to
It
look.
is now. It is.
Okay, we'll
Don't
go
look
with
it up.
that.
It is now.
Okay, I won't Google it or anything.
No. It's
Um,
in the Kappa dictionary.
okay, that's all that matters. We do have a dictionary, if anyone's
Yeah.
wondering.
Yeah.
You can
If you
learn
hear us
about.
say words that you don't understand or you never heard before, just go to www.kappaparanormal.com and just click on our glossary.
I don't think we've ever plugged the website and Facebook as much as we have this episode, which is fine. You should go like us because we're real fun and we post cool stuff.
And there's
Um,
pictures of us. So
oh, that's right.
you forgot already.
Yeah, I forgot that we're pushing the sex appeal out this episode. Um, no, when it comes basically take this back a little bit. We're talking about Bigfoot and the existence.
Yeah.
I do think it's possible. I think if Jane Goodall says it's possible, it's possible. Um, am I convinced? No, it's hard to say.
I
Um,
would have to see one, feel one,
yep.
and yeah.
Or have the DNA say yes, this
Yeah.
is real, right? Something in the scientific community. But I definitely think it's possible. I don't think that many people can be lying. Um, I do think they're seeing something, whether they're
Yeah.
misidentifying things or they're
Yeah.
actually seeing, in my neck of the woods, the skunk ape. It's a cool thought, and
Well, you know what they say with any myth, it comes from some form of truth.
right. Oh, it does.
Any
It does.
legend is born of some sort of truth.
Well, we do know at least as much. In 1958 in California, at a construction site, some tires were found strewn about, and some very large tracks were found. Now, I think it's the sons of the people who made those tracks came out and said that, yeah, these were fake. We got you.
Hmm.
Our dad got you. However, one, we don't know if they're lying or who's telling the truth. I mean, it spun off enough media frenzy to to get as far as it has. Back then it wasn't even called Bigfoot. They didn't have a name. It was actually an article that was written about those footprints where someone, the author of the article, called it Bigfoot, and then that name,
Name stuck.
stuck in the popular vernacular. Um, it was just the man of the forest or the hairy man of the forest or wild man.
Hmm.
That's and of
Yeah, the
course,
wild man is another name for him.
right, grass man. There's a lot of names for
Yeah.
boggy creek monster. It's the same. I would argue that the Jersey Devil could be Bigfoot.
Could be. So
You
could
know,
so could werewolves,
sure.
My favorite. My favorite cryptid
You
is
love
werewolves.
work. Don't worry, we are going to do a whole episode for all the werewolf lovers, and I'm going to watch an episode of like Teen Wolf, and I know.
Oh.
Yeah, yep, and that's why I'm going to do it because I'm going to talk about Teen Wolf the whole time. No, I'm kidding. I wouldn't do that. Werewolves are cool. Um,
But
Dogman,
yeah,
all that stuff.
so
It's
one could argue that the Dogman phenomena could very well be a Bigfoot. You
yeah,
know,
that's quite possible. I think it is. I think it's more likely to
um,
be something like that um than what people
an
think
actual like
Dogman's actual.
shapeshifter, and yeah,
Right. Maybe I'm not. I don't.
I've
I
never
think
met one personally, so I don't know.
never met one. I do
I'd like to.
remember.
Well, yeah, I'd like to.
I don't know
Screw
if
it.
I'd like to.
If that's how I go out, then have a camera on me, put it on the Kappa YouTube channel, and say Kevin finally found Dogman.
Well, that we have a little
That
adventure
is
on schedule.
content.
We have more to talk about Dogman in the future because
Oh
we may
yeah.
be doing a little. Well, I won't say too much. You're just gonna have to stick around and see what I mean. But
Yeah.
the
So
oh yeah,
with Bigfoot, sorry to cut you off, or
yeah.
what were you about to say?
No, I was just probably gonna say some bullshit, so you should go.
Oh, sounds about right. No.
Damn.
No. What I was gonna say with Bigfoot, what do you think it could possibly be? Without saying it could be the Jersey Devil, it could be Dogman,
Right.
just vice versa,
Just
and what we just talked about. Like, what honestly do you think it could be? What are people actually seeing?
well, if it's real, I think it's a dog going. It's Dogman. He's here.
Oh, we found him.
We
I didn't know what that was. I thought you
we
like scraped your chair or something and just looked
no
at me. I was like, what the
no.
heck is
There's
happening over there? There is a dog
uh
man over
we
there.
got a Dogman. No, honestly,
Give him a mic.
right. Come on down. Come talk to us. Um, it's really talkative. It's been waiting millions of years for this opportunity.
Yeah, this
No,
is my chance.
exactly. No, that is actually. I think Taco Bell just got delivered, and that's my dog going absolutely insane. For
Nah,
everyone who's
as
wondering,
one does for Taco
as
Bell.
as right. I mean, yo quiero Taco Bell or whatever that
Mm, the little Chihuahua
the
said.
little chihuahua says. But yeah, so I think Bigfoot, if exists, is flesh and blood,
Uh-huh.
probably somehow related to Gigantopithecus.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
I was
that
thinking the
that's
same.
that's what I believe.
Yeah.
I know there's a lot of people that say it's more paranormal. It's a shapeshifter. It's an interdimensional being, and sure, all that's possible.
I
I'm
could
not going to say
I could buy
anything's
into the
not.
interdimensional.
I mean, sure. I
I
mean,
could buy into that.
that would if it exists, that would explain why we can never find it.
Yeah.
I
Because a
mean,
lot of the sightings are spotted in the same areas where UFOs are spotted at
well, yeah,
around the same time.
absolutely.
There's theories that the UFOs are bringing Bigfoot, Bigfootuses,
The
and
big, yeah,
they're basically scouts,
right,
you know?
yeah, yeah. And I've heard that. Well, you look at Mount Shasta. That is a hotbed of not only a Bigfoot but UFO and really anything paranormal happens around Mount Shasta. If it's on, if paranormal checklist, it happens
Hmm.
at Mount Shasta, and that's in California. But I think you know if it is something interdimensional, it's hard to say um, what it may be, or what an interdimensional being actually is. I
Yeah.
I don't know the answer, but um, I personally think it's flesh and blood. I'm not going to discount it being something else, but I think it's flesh and blood, probably related, like I said, to Gigantopithecus in some way, and just an unidentified primate that we haven't discovered yet. And and I think a good. I mean, we have to talk about the Patterson Gimlin film.
Yeah.
I think that's still the best evidence. Well, there's a couple, um, but that one is very interesting because it does not look like a suit. You see muscle definition as it moves, and I
Yeah.
don't think in 1967, even now, they would have the ability to do what they did. I think that film is, and you even see scientists that aren't, into Bigfoot that look at it and go, I don't know what that is.
Yeah.
It's fascinating. And there's actually some thermal cam footage, and that is from, I believe, Myakka State Forest here in Florida. And it's really hard to fake thermal footage. That is something
Yeah.
that's difficult to fake when you're talking about something biological. And the step that this creature made, you see it step up from behind a tree, and the step that it made is inhuman. You can't do it. And if you, I think you can search Myakka State Park Bigfoot thermal footage and find it. I don't. I'm not sure. I've only ever seen it on TV, but
Yeah.
it's fascinating to say the least. I'll tell you that.
Yeah. I'll tell you what I think it is since you asked my opinion.
Oh yes, please, Kevin. What is your opinion?
I agree.
Oh, okay,
No,
guys, have a good one.
like you were saying, I could buy the with the interdimensional. I could buy into that. I was also thinking maybe it's an evolved or descendant of the Gigantopithecus. I would say that I lean more into the interdimensional. I know people are going to be like, man, that's crazy. That's a lot of, real paranormal stuff there, thinking that not only is this cryptid also part of UFOs, which are also cryptids, but yeah, I think that it very well possibly could, just because of the sightings, like the areas where Bigfoot is spotted is also in, like we were saying, the like hotbeds for UFO sightings, and they coincide they with each other. You hear reports of the UFO sightings, and then a few days later you got Bigfoot sightings, and then a couple days later you got UFO sightings again. So,
Right,
like I was saying, it's almost like the UFOs were dropping off scouts. What they're scouting, I don't know.
right.
They could be plotting a takeover.
But as long as they can get inflation under control, I'm fine.
Yeah, that would be nice.
Figure out how to
Bigfoot,
power my car without.
Bigfoot 2024.
Yeah, let's go. I see nothing else good happening.
Just beef jerky for everyone.
I, right. Oh, feed your wild side, guys.
Oh, yeah,
Feed.
it went over your head or something.
No, you thought no, I got it. My brain stopped. It was rebooting. That happens once in a
Um,
while. It's pretty bad. It's probably
it does.
medication. Anyway, no, yeah, Bigfoot's always been one of those fun subjects.
And
Uh,
it's fun movies. I don't know why. Like
there
the
are
movies
some
are always very cheesy, but fun.
cheesy but good. I mean, you look
Yeah.
at you look at the what like Legend of Boggy Creek and I do love me some Harry and the Hendersons.
Well, who doesn't?
You got I mean, but yeah, Bigfoot movies are cheesy usually, and but who doesn't like a good cheesy movie about a Bigfoot? You know,
Yeah.
a good
I
monster
forget.
movie.
I forget the name of the movie, but I remember I was watching it with my mom, and it was about some campers, and they went camping, obviously, as campers do,
I,
and they thought that they were being like attacked by a bear. Like, they had the class. I mean, you knew what was going to happen. It was very, very predictable. They were in
right.
the tent, and something was like messing with the tent. They thought it was a bear. They never saw the thing. I don't even know if they actually even showed Bigfoot in the movie. Maybe once. It was that cheesy. But it turned out it was Bigfoot, and he slaughtered everyone, I believe. It was
Oh,
great.
Bigfoot wouldn't do that though. Bigfoot's very
In that movie, he
nice.
did.
Oh, well, they got
And
him all
then,
wrong. Poor thing.
Yeah, then they had
I almost
another set of campers come out,
right.
and then he just had coffee with them and roasted marshmallows.
He didn't like the other ones. He's like, I'll chill with these ones,
Yeah,
but not those other people.
yeah,
What's going on with them? I was
yeah.
about to say Lorraine Warren would
Oh,
not approve of that movie because she really liked Bigfoot. But instead of Lorraine Warren, I'm glad you talked and interrupted what I was about to say because I was about to say Eileen Wuornos. And
oh,
I don't think she had any Bigfoot. She may have. She
she
spent a
may.
lot of
She did
time
say
in the
he's in the
woods
woods.
killing people,
Yeah,
so she, for
yeah.
all I know, she ran
Maybe it
into
was
Bigfoot
Bigfoot the
out
whole time.
there. She should have said that while she was getting.
Yeah,
It wasn't me. It was Bigfoot. He follows me
yeah.
around. We'll
It
see how.
whispers in my ear.
He whispers sweet nothings and tells people
Yeah.
he's my lover.
Oh,
I went there. I went there.
he did. That would make for an interesting story.
The Eileen Warnos, the Eileen Warnos story. But I don't even know. I can't even make fun of that one because she was. That's a whole messed up thing.
Yeah, she
But
was
yeah,
troubled.
yeah, she was. She was. Um, her bra is in Port Orange. Did you know that?
No, but
Yeah.
Tracy and I actually went to the murder museum, and they had part of her belongings there. I want to say it was the outfit she wore in jail
Okay. That's
they had on display. Don't get me, don't quote me on it. Don't get, I believe they did have artifacts of Arlene Warnos at the Murder Museum in New Orleans. If anyone has been there, refresh my memory in the comments.
definitely. I mean, I work in a building that used to hold evidence for the county, so her historically her stuff has been there and kind of intertwined. So it's an interesting thing. We don't need to, but Bigfoot. I don't know how we got an. Oh, I know how we got an Eileen Warnos. My ADHD kicked in. Um,
Hmm. And she
but
was, you know,
she
loving
was
Bigfoot in the forest while
she,
committing
yeah,
murders.
Bigfoot should be. I don't know which one. I don't know if it's Fred the Bigfoot or John the Bigfoot or um. But yeah, so
But yeah,
Bigfoot might be real. It may be interdimensional. It may be meat and bone. Maybe it's a mixture of both. What do you think?
isn't that how those documentaries always go? We're gonna
Yeah,
or tonight on documentary X. We're gonna get to the bottom of Bigfoot, and then they'll have like an hour and a half long talk discussion with different scientists and anthropologists and different ologists of various fields,
all the
biologists,
ologists.
everything. And at the end of the documentary, it's still a mystery.
Yeah. Oh, you got down to the bottom of it.
Yeah, every
Yeah,
single one. But you
I
watch
know.
them.
Yeah, because they're still interesting.
Yeah,
But they're
yeah,
it like finding Bigfoot. Watching all those episodes, they're not going to find Bigfoot.
yeah. Have you seen the Alaskan killer Bigfoot?
Yeah,
I haven't finished it. I think I'm
I
on like
have.
episode 4,
I'm
and
not.
I lost interest.
Yeah, I wasn't too into it. Wasn't something I enjoyed. Um,
But yeah.
but some
So
people
as
might.
Corey said, yeah, yes, give it a watch. Let me know. Should I pick it back up? At me on X at Kevin Leonard or Kevin Kappa.
So we're just
It's
calling
in
it
the
X
show
now.
notes. I guess.
Yeah.
But I mean, yeah, I guess. But like Corey said, what do you all think? Let us know in the comments. Um, Message us. What do you think about Bigfoot? Where do you stand? Is it a hoax? Is it a joke? Is it real? Is it is it? What is it?
And do you have a personal experience with Bigfoot? Did he whisper sweet nothings in your ear? Call us now.
Definitely, definitely let us know.
I'd
If
be
you're
interested.
having if you're having regular conversations with Bigfoot, www.cappaparanormal.com. I want to know.
I definitely want to know if you're talking to Bigfoot. You need to
So,
message us right away.
Corey,
Yeah.
we're waiting. Let's
Yeah, I
hear our fan submitted
yes.
story.
This is submitted by Kaya M. Won't do the
Okay.
last name.
Hi,
And this
Kaya.
this is
Thank
called
you.
The Blue Child.
Okay.
For a long time, when I tell this story, I'd always tell it as a ghost story, not really understanding what I experienced, and still not really fully comprehending what I experienced. I was probably about 6 to 7 years old and still slept in my parents' bed from time to time. They had the master bedroom with a giant comfy bed. When you walked into the room, you were immediately seeing the bed, nightstands, TV. To the left of the room was a hallway with a closet on each side, and that small hallway led into the bathroom with a huge mirror, double sinks, a shower to the right, and the toilet with its own door to the left. One night I was asleep with them as usual. I remember waking up because I had to use the bathroom. And as I'm heading down the tiny hallway into the bathroom, something feels odd. As I approach the door with the toilet, I see what can only be described as a being made of light. It was small, about the same size as me. This being didn't have any facial features, and I remember the colors of light being blue, and then going to a bright white, almost as if it had a white aura. I remember it being really bright and squinting to get a better look. I remember it speaking to me. Come with me. Come with me. I don't remember being scared at all. The being didn't speak to me with its voice, but I could hear it speaking to me in my head. I hesitantly walked closer as the being motioned for me to follow it, going into the tiny room with the toilet. I remember following it, but after that, my memory is pretty fuzzy. I don't remember how I ended up back in my parents' bed. I didn't ever use the bathroom, and I have no recollection of anything else happening. A lot of people I've told this story to have said, well, you must have been dreaming. But I remember the feeling of having to use the bathroom. I remember being wide awake during this event. Today, I feel I experienced something extraterrestrial or some kind of interdimensional being. I'm excited for my friends at Kappa to share my story in hopes that someone else may hear it and have a similar experience to share.
Wow. Thank you so much, Kaya, for sharing. That was creepy.
Yeah, it's a
And
pretty creepy story.
yeah, and I'm surprised, well, not surprised that she mentioned the same thing that I was thinking. It definitely sounded extraterrestrial. You
Yeah,
know, that's where my mind was going, especially when she said that it was basically speaking telepathically.
yeah. I think a lot of
So
the
I would,
stories of abduction, which
yeah,
not saying, but it sounds like it may be an abduction story. I'm not,
yeah, which
because
is
she doesn't.
scary,
It's yeah. I mean, it's terrifying to think about, especially at that age. You know.
right?
Um.
Because at first, you know, I've heard of people claiming to see spirits that, you know, had that blue
Mhm.
translucent, I can't speak today, translucent hint to them, and sometimes giving off an aura of
Right.
various colors. And some people that are empathic, they can see or sense these auras. And I'm not empathic. I don't claim to be. I'm not sensitive. I won't ever claim to be. But I have heard that people who are will see spirits in this way, and they'll have that lighter or a white, bright aura. And that's basically, you know, something positive.
Yeah.
But definitely when she said that she felt it speaking to her telepathically and then losing time and
Yeah.
just appearing
And
back in the, because it sounds like it was kind of a trek to get from the bed to the bathroom. You know, you had the hallway may have been small, but you still had to travel, a few good feet to
Right.
get there. And then basically you got in there, you're right there basically at the toilet or the bathroom, and you have this experience, and the next thing you know, you're back in the bed.
Yeah.
That's a really good story.
Very
If
good.
any, yeah, if anyone has experienced anything like that, um, definitely let us know in the comments.
Please do.
I'm
Please comment.
sure, yeah, that way Kaya can see that she's not alone. I haven't
Definitely.
experienced anything like that.
I haven't. I'm glad I haven't. I
Yeah, that sounds scary.
That sounds terrifying, and especially like I said for someone that age. But yes, thank you so much, Kaya, for sharing your story with us, and I hope that you'll be able to connect with some people that maybe have had a similar experience. I really appreciate you reaching out
Yeah,
to
and thank you for
us.
allowing us to read it on air.
Yes, definitely. And anyone else, please send us any story in the paranormal realm of any sort. We would love to hear and have permission to share here on the podcast. Really would.
Yeah, and I'll say it right this time. Don't forget to send them to IntoTheParanormalPod at gmail.com.
Absolutely. That is the email. You can into the paranormal pod at Gmail. Send us anything you want. Don't send like nudes, but
Don't send anything you want.
stories.
Some of that may be paranormal in its own sense, but we
Probably.
don't want that.
Yeah, we don't want that,
Corey
but
might want to see that, but I don't
I
want to see that.
don't. It depends. Send to Facebook
Send those
first.
directly to Corey
Don't do
at
that.
386 273.
I hope, yeah, finish that and see if anyone gets random. Uh, no, but yeah, send us, anything related to the paranormal or the podcast there. At that, of course, you can hit us up, facebook.com/into the paranormal podcast.
Yeah.
As well, you can, of course, search kappaparanormal.com, facebook.com/Kappa Paranormal. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, made sure. And of
Just
course, you
go
can.
to. Oh, go ahead.
Well, you can also all the show notes, whether you're listening on Spotify or with us on YouTube. The show notes will have plenty of these links. You can also check out if you want to, come to my Facebook and hang out. You can. Facebook.com/Corey Beam.
Yeah. I don't know why you said that so questionable, but
Well, I know I'm not that cool, but if you
yeah,
want, you can do that.
yeah. I know did you say, yeah, you said Kappa Paranormal or
Sure did.
Facebook, you can hang out with me on Facebook as well, facebook.com/Kevin Leonard. I'm right there. Just Google Kevin Leonard, or not Kevin Leonard. Don't do that. You don't find much. Google Kappa Paranormal, and I'm all over there. The Facebook, the website, it's there. You'll find all your links, as Corey said. It's in the show notes and the description on YouTube.
We
So
are.
that about wraps things up. Do you have any last minute thoughts, questions, concerns?
Oh, I'm concerned about a lot, but nothing that can be solved in right now. No, everything's great. I'm just happy we got to talk about a cryptid. I definitely know we're going to talk about cryptids a lot more in the future because we both
Oh yeah.
love them. And stay tuned for some stuff on Dogman, possibly. You'll want
Yep.
to check that out. And um, make sure you follow us on social because we do have events coming up in the next few months.
And we'd
And
love to meet you.
absolutely, we'd love to meet people that are like-minded and love to talk paranormal, and be great to see you.
Yeah. So as always, I've been Kevin Leonard. That has been Corey Beam. And this has been Into the Paranormal.
Thank you, guys, and everybody, please, as always, stay spooky. Take care, everyone.